back, everybody, to another episode of Poke Crows here with me, Crow, and Origami, and we're going over something that I think has been troubling a lot of people. Gigantamax and Dynamax versus Mega Evolutions. Which one's better? Which one's worse? Well, I don't know what to say here because, honestly, to me, I've got mixed feelings on both of them, so I'll let you take it away, Aura.
What's up, everybody? Origami here to talk about this little when it's controversy, it's usually me and Crow. So let's just get right into it. I kind of think the Mega Evolutions, they were more well thought out, and the designs were a bit more constructive, and they were done a little better. It's just my opinion for Mega, like overall. I feel like they just took more time with it, and they were crafted just a little bit better than Dynamax, because Dynamax is just get big, you know, make my monster grow, and it grows for the most part. The Gigantamax, however, that's when they actually get a little bit different, you know. So I can appreciate the subtle changes, but I still think Mega kind of handled it better.
Now, I guess the thing that I would say to that is because Gigantamax and Dynamax, I think a little bit have to be treated differently. But my thing is, can you really blame them in terms of the whole Dynamax thing not being super unique? Because I remember when Mega Evolutions came out, and I you know, people think these people don't exist, but they would go out and say, oh, you shouldn't use a Pokemon just for the Mega. You should really use that Pokemon if you like that Pokemon. And the other point was, I really hate that Mega Evolution is only for these, and I want Mega Flygon, I want Mega Butterfree. I remember people wanted Mega Butterfree when they saw Mega Beedrill. So, to me, the Gigantamax, or the Gigantamax thing is kind of like keeping those Mega Evolutions, in the sense that you're getting a form change on a lot of Pokemon. And Pokemon that I didn't think we would really see on. But I feel like Dynamax is the only way you're going to satisfy that portion of the fan base that sits there and goes, well, I don't like any of those Mega Pokemon. I don't like using them. I don't like them to begin with. And I really hate that when I make a team, I'm at a disadvantage because I'm not using one. You get what I mean?
No, that's fair. Like when Mega came out, I remember that being a meme. Everyone's like, oh, it's Digimon. You know, like they took Digimon because Mega Evolution.
Yeah, but then you saw Gigantamax Charizard, and now you really saw Digimon.
No, Digimon. This game is Digimon, you know, but
Digimon. Digimon.
Copyrighted.
Digimon. Digital monsters. Digimon are the champions.
Like I said, that's kind of a fair point. However, the Megas, I feel like, inspired more hype than the Gigantamax have, because the Gigantamax, I don't really see anyone talking about Gigantamax that much.
No,
unless I'm just unaware.
The thing is, to me, the gimmicks and everything, I am totally okay without them. Like, I didn't need to see Mega Evolutions, and I did not need to see Gigantamax Dynamax. Now, the thing is, and you brought this up, and it is such a good point here. Gigantamax and Dynamax are way more integrated into the story than Mega Evolution was.
No, it's true.
And that's just based on the little that we know, right?
Was that your counter that I brought up by accident, or did that just happen?
No, look, my counter to the people that don't like Dynamax is that at the end of the day, what are you going to ask Game Freak to do? Because I feel like you will never satisfy everybody unless you allow everybody to use that system with whatever Pokemon they want to use.
That's totally fair, but is it fair that I can say, as a consumer who has supported their stuff since childhood, and then grew up, got a job, and continued to buy all their stuff, and is going to spend double amount on this game, that they do something for like Gigantamax Meowth instead of just stretch him?
Actually, Aura, I have an official statement from Game Freak on this one. And I'm just gonna read it out. And
we're changing the fucking cat. You like, leave us alone.
Game Freak would like everybody playing the games to understand and that they value you, but not as consumers, as pay piggies. And as pay piggies, Game Freak would like to remind you to shut the fuck up and give them their money. And that is all.
Is that a meme you had ready, or did you just plan that? It was pretty good if you just did that. Like,
I just did it, but you are going to edit it, so
that's pretty good.
No, but like legitimately, I get where you're coming from on the hype behind Mega Evolutions, but the execution on Mega Evolutions, I think, is a major miss in terms of putting it into the game in a way that it made sense. Because
and consistency.
Yeah, consistency. X and Y were terrible in terms of they were completely incomplete games, and nobody will ever convince me otherwise. Everything in those games is just very subpar, very lacking, so stripped down. And even though you will have to watch a theory video on why Mega Evolution exists. If you played X and Y, you would miss it. You would just be like, oh, okay, Mega, yay, I have a Mega Lucario now, yay. And now I have a Mega starter Pokemon from Kanto of my choosing, yay. Like, it's not implemented in the game in a way that makes any sense to me. There's very few battles with trainers that use Mega Evolution in those games. Until you get up into those really, like, the Elite Four, right? I kind of remember you finally got to see Mega Evolution, and then you got to see it in ORAS. And I think they did it better in ORAS when you got to like go back and rebattle the Elite Four, but it's not implemented into the 6th gen games or the 7th gen games in any meaningful way to me. Whereas with Dynamax and Gigantamax, that is a theme that we see the gym leaders are using it. Every trainer is using it, is a phenomenon in the region. I think it's completely implemented into Galar better than it ever was in the 6th or the 7th gen games. I just fully feel that.
No, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I appreciate the fact that they actually structured this gimmick based around the story. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it for those who are avoiding the leaks.
Yeah, don't watch any of our videos on those.
Yeah, so I don't want to give too much of it away, but like I can appreciate how it's incorporated, and I'll leave it at that before I slip up. So.
No, because you see it in the trailers. That's what I mean. You see that it is a core of these games, whereas Mega was just like, play X and Y, these horrible games that are completely stripped down, that have no endgame whatsoever. The legendaries don't make any sense in the story. Nothing really works in those games. But Mega Evolutions are a lot of fun. So, final thoughts. Like, for me, I'm indifferent on both of them. I could do with them or I could do without them. But I really appreciate that Gigantamax and Dynamax are part of these games. They are a part of the story of these games, and you see that there are going to be many battles, just from the trailers we saw, just from some of the gym leader battles that we saw, where Dynamax is a key function of the game.
There's a point you kind of missed too that you could have thrown at me. Mega Evolution was very limited to certain Pokemon. Dynamax, I think almost all the Pokemon get it, don't they?
Okay, so yes, that's what I meant. Every single Pokemon can Dynamax, whereas you had people basically saying with Mega Evolution, I did spring this on you, just ignored it.
No, you said Gigantamax. No, I thought you meant that specifically.
Oh, no.
All right,
whatever.
I misinterpreted.
It's the people, that sit there and they feel like they're at a disadvantage because they cannot use Mega Evolution, because they don't want to use the Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, right? There are going to be plenty of people that play these games, and they're going to sit there and go like, I don't want to use any of the Gigantamax Pokemon. I'm not interested in playing with those ones. I want to use this team. This is the team I think is the coolest, the most badass, and none of them can Gigantamax, but it doesn't matter because they can Dynamax, and they'll be special when they Dynamax. They'll be just as useful as the Gigantamax Pokemon.
I'll just leave it with my final thought, if I may, Crow.
Well, I guess I'll gotta give you that one.
Okay. Aesthetically wise, I think Mega Evolution had some more superior elements because, like I said, that was their only thing. So I guess they had time or more thought to put into it. But Gigantamax Dynamax does look fun, and the way they're structuring this game for it to be like very hype, like especially with the stadiums, I think that's kind of a nice touch. It's hit or miss with people, but I think it's a nice touch, especially with the gimmick they're pushing. And I think the Gigantamax look like fun boss battles and stuff. So I'll give it that for sure. And plus, it's not fair because they're giant as hell. So even like a Dynamax can like probably take out a Mega. So
yeah, no, look, I think you are 100% correct there. Aesthetically, Megas were way better. They got people way more hyped. Because you gotta admit, Gigantamax Dynamax is very goofy.
and so it just, it's the same thing except bigger, So that's kind of why some people may say it's just dull. It's just giant version. So
yeah, and to me, the only real counter to that is legitimately that if you're somebody, and I've made teams where none of the Pokemon can Mega Evolve, and and even I felt at a disadvantage because I'm sitting there going like, well, these are the in-game Pokemon I want to use, and I feel weaker because I can't Mega Evolve anybody on the team. None of them can Mega Evolve.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that problem here, but obviously, you know what? You're never going to satisfy everybody. There is a lot of derpy designs in the Gigantamax that you like. Mega Evolution, I think everybody came out clean when they Mega Evolved. There are some very few misses, but there are a lot of misses on the Gigantamax. Hey guys, final thoughts. Let us know in the comments. What do you think? Do you like any of the Gigantamax, or are you just happy that you can Dynamax, or are you really upset that Mega Evolution is not in this game and you can't Mega Evolve anymore?
Yeah, Gigantamax or Mega.
All right, guys, we're ending the video here. Good night. So, huh?
I was gonna say, do you think that just no one wants Score Bunny? Could you imagine?
To be frank with you, we had fewer subscribers, we had fewer people watching the videos, and we had more people enter in for Sobble.
Yeah.
So,
and I wasn't allowed, so I couldn't get Sobble.
Yes, I'm extending the Score Bunny till Monday. That's the only news you're gonna get.